Turning now to this, Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League has some tips if you are looking to help those impacted by the storm. Well, Jen, for those people hoping to reach out, where do you even start here?
Well, if you want to provide financial assistance to help the victims of the hurricane, you really want to make sure your dollars are going to legitimate organizations that can provide services to the people on the ground. So that means you need to do your homework and confirm the validity of a charity before you contribute money to them. For example, the IRS has a tool on its website that allows folks to look up new nonprofits, so you can check their status, make sure they're legitimate. There's also platforms out there called GuideStar that provide ratings on charities, and even the Better Business Bureau rates charities. So you want to make sure both the reputation is in check and the status of the charity is in check before you provide your hard-earned dollars and make sure that they're going to people that actually need it. I would caution against GoFundMe accounts unless you know the person that has established the GoFundMe accounts. I think it's just an opportunity for fraud. And, there's also monetary value in volunteering. So that doesn't mean self-deploy down to Florida. But a lot of Mainers, travel south over the winter. Cleanup is going to take months. So you can provide some assistance, and there's organizations, the National Voluntary Organization Active in Disasters has, volunteer opportunities, and you'll be able to do that for weeks to come if you have a trip planned to Florida and want to help in that way.
And do you have any advice on how to send money directly to people in Florida to help them rebuild? We've done stories about how the Red Cross says they appreciate all sorts of donations, but really monetary donations are probably the most helpful. But with this in mind, how do we do this in a safe way? Yeah.
And it's got to be hard, right? Because a lot of people are displaced. You can't do snail mail and send the money that way because the chances are some of them are living in shelters, just like the segment showed. So, the great thing about technology is you can send money electronically. In fact, the Financial Protection Bureau just sent out some tips on if you want to send a loved one money electronically. It's always good to have them request money to you if you're using one of those mobile payment apps, just to make sure that you're actually sending it to the right person. I would recommend sending a small amount in the beginning, making sure it arrives there safely. And, let's say you think that you sent something in error. Call your bank, call your credit union immediately to see if you can cancel your transaction. And also find out how long it's going to take to get those funds to your loved one. Some of those mobile payment apps, the money comes instantaneously. Some of them take 24 to 48 hours. So it's just good to set expectations on both sides, but you really want to confirm that the person that you're providing the funds to receives it. So make sure you're talking and communicating so that the money goes where it needs to go.
Yeah, I'm building on what you just said. We've talked about donating in terms of response to disasters a bunch of times, and we know that there are always scammers out there looking to take advantage. So maybe let's kind of walk through what people should look out for to make sure their donations aren't going to scammers.
Yeah, and without a doubt, scammers are going to take advantage of this opportunity, right? People want to help. But if you receive a phone call, for example, from an organization that's claiming to help with their recovery efforts, hang up and call them back. Call them back on the number that is listed on their website to make sure that they are, in fact, making that request. Scammers can spoof phone numbers, and it makes them appear, on your caller ID like they're coming from a national organization. Don't provide anyone your credit card information over the phone like that. Do your homework. Call them back, or better yet, make an online donation on their website. And also be very cautious with your email. If you get an unsolicited email asking you to click here to make a donation, don't click links from people you don't know. That could, put malware on your computer. I mean, it's awful that we have to think about this, but fraudsters, that they capitalize on these opportunities. So, I know folks want to help, and I encourage people to help if they're able to do so, but do it smartly.
Yeah. All right, Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League, as always, thank you for the good advice and tips here.
Thank you.